If it gets too dark, I'll be your light. Be your light. I'll be your light. If it gets too dark, I'll be your
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, thanks so much for joining. My name is Misty, and if you are not part of the Raven family but want to be part of the Raven family, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. Today I am bringing you another episode of our Crybaby Whims, and as you can see, we are just here with Cassiopeia and the family. Cassiopeia is feeling pretty sad this morning, as you can see from her lovely state of blue here. So we are just going to go through that, but we have met most of her aspirations here in her successful lineage. She has mentored her child 3 times, and the remainder of the things that we need to do of have a child complete an aspiration and have a child or grandchild reach the top of a career can't be met until most likely either Landon or one of the other two meet those. And so, as I had said in the last episode, we will have to wait on that, and there is a good possibility that won't take place until she is an elder. But I do want us to just go ahead and still continue to play as Cassiopeia. We will continue to be playing with her in this episode. This will probably be the last episode we're going to play as Cassiopeia, but I want to see a little bit of the children as teens. So we do know that Landon just aged up into a teen in the last episode, and we haven't really got to see a whole lot of him as a teen, and I do want to live a little bit of his life as a teen with him before I just go ahead and progress through time and start his story as a young adult and move on to generation 2. So in this episode, we are going to be celebrating Harvestfest with him and with the family, and so we are going to be dealing with that, and most likely he will be having a birthday, and we will be aging him up to a young adult. And then in the next episode, it's actually going to be going ahead and starting generation 2, and we'll be getting started with generation 2 and going through those rules and what generation 2 looks like. So this is definitely the end of generation 1, and this is, the end of that, and will most likely be that finale episode. So that's just because we can't really move forward with that storyline with her, and so we're gonna have to kind of wrap things up for Cassiopeia. But she is doing well in her career, but like I said, she is kind of feeling a little bit of sadness, and the reasoning for that is she's under a slight depression. It says that she is slightly depressed after finding out her child is doing drugs, and the child that she has found out is doing drugs is none other than Davis. She found out that he was smoking pot, and she is pretty upset about that. As you can see, she is really having to deal with that. As we know, she is just gotten over the loss of her mother, and now she's having to deal with the fact that one of her children is unfortunately experimenting with drugs, and she is, thinking to herself, I already had to deal with that with Carina, and I had to deal with that with Tevin for a little while, and now Davis is experimenting, and she's like, am I ever going to get away from the fact that, my children are constantly experimenting in the drug realm? And is this ever going to cease? And so she is feeling some slight depression where that is concerned. She is also soaked in blood from her cycle, so we will have to get her into the bathroom so that she can fix that. And she's sad from having some filthy clothing. We have been doing laundry. I do laundry in this series left and right, but as we know, sometimes there is a little bit of an issue with the laundry in this series and in this game. So we have some filthy clothing that's making her kind of sad, and so we will have to get her working on that. So some things about Landon that I have noticed: he is a very moody teenager. He is constantly doing that whole teenage moping around kind of thing, and he stays pretty moody and pretty enraged. His moods are kind of all over the place, so we are going to notice that about our lovely little Landon. Aside from that, Davis is constantly in a sad mood, and I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that he is constantly experimenting with the drugs, but we send him out for jogs to clear his mind quite often to try to get him in a better mood. And so far, Carissa has been pretty much a breeze. I don't know if that's going to remain when she becomes a teenager, but we will just have to see how that goes. Of course, we are knowing that we are going to be moving on with Landon. Once Landon becomes a young adult, we'll be moving on with his story, and he is no longer going to be living with this family. We actually are going to be moving him out of the family home, and his story is going to be taking place somewhere else. So we will only be seeing this family in passing. So we won't really see as much of them on a daily basis as we would have, if we were obviously staying in this house. So the thing, this is going to change a little bit. I do have a little bit different of a view of a storyline in mind for Landon. But that being said, it is still going, hopefully we will still see them. Carina does still show up. Tevin does still show up to the house and visits. So hopefully the family will come and they will visit Landon once he is out on his own, once he's a young adult, and we are dealing with him and his storyline. That being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. If we look at our calendar, you can see today is Gather Day, and what that means is we are basically just going to go ahead and decorate and get the house ready for Harvestfest. We need to clean, we need to do some baking, and so we will get all of those things together so that the house is ready for Harvestfest, and then tomorrow is Harvestfest itself. So the family does have the day off from school and work today and tomorrow in order for these events to take place. So we'll be able to spend some time with the family and just kind of get, really acquainted with each character. Now that we have seen Carissa and Landon age up, we'll really be able to spend some time with them in this episode, which will be really, really nice. Everyone, as you can see, aside from Cassiopeia, is in bed asleep, so we will just go ahead and take care of Cassiopeia's needs here. She is really feeling, in a bad place this morning. We are going to get her to have herself a little bit of a bath since she is soaked in blood, and get her changed up here, and then she can go ahead and get a new tampon in, and we'll get her just taking care of herself. Aside from that, I think her needs are doing pretty good, and we'll get her to get into the kitchen and she can make some breakfast so that once everybody is up for the morning, breakfast will be ready for them. I hate that she is going through such a tough time with this depression. Unfortunately, that is going to weigh on her pretty heavily, knowing that her child is struggling with this drug problem, or what she sees as a drug problem. Does look like Landon is up. He is unfortunately enraged. As it says, I'm not okay from having a mood swing. That didn't go too well. So unfortunately, we see this a lot in Landon. He is a really moody teenager. I'm not exactly sure why he struggles as much as he does, but he really, really does struggle in the mood department. And, I would say that that is going to be something that is going to really affect our story with him. But then again, I don't know. He is a supposed cheerful sim. Maybe this is just a teenage kind of thing he's going through, but there he goes with that moody walk and just moping around like the world is going to end. But technically he is a cheerful sim according to the traits given to him for the challenge. Not that you could tell right now, and I think that hopefully he is going to outgrow some of this moodiness, but he is, according to the rules that we're going to go over in the Gen 2 stuff, he is kind of a cynical sim, and you're going to see that with his story. Now that everyone is slowly starting to get up here, we're going to be seeing that, everyone is still dealing with some feelings on the loss of the grandparents, but It has been like 6 days, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and get rid of that because honestly, I don't know why it's not letting that go away. I have, as you can see here, given Cassiopeia a new outfit, which she is wearing today, which we love. And she's just having a little bit of a conversation with Davis here and just saying to him, like, look, I understand that you are struggling with this problem and with these drugs, but Davis, this is not a way to turn. This is not something that you need to be doing. If there is something going on with you and you are having difficulty, instead of turning to drugs, I really wish that you would reach out to me. Or if you can't reach out to me, you could reach out to, we could find you some help. And he's just walked away. It's like, I don't want to even talk about this with you. As most teenagers would do, talking to mom is probably not the way they want to go. And she is just really, really struggling with the fact that she feels helpless in the fact that she can't help her child. And she just wants him to talk to her, and she just wants to be able to help him, but she doesn't know how. She should really consider maybe possibly coming and trying to talk with Landon and helping him, but Landon is really not turning to drugs or anything like that. He is just constantly in a state of mood swings. He switches from being happy to being enraged, from being happy to being enraged, for no reason other than just he can. All right, let's go ahead and check everyone's needs. So Carissa seems to be doing pretty good, and Landon's needs are great. Davis is feeling a bit hungry and has gone into the kitchen to grab himself something to eat. Cassiopeia and Zeke's needs are all okay. Zeke is doing pretty decent as far as with his job, as well as Cassiopeia. If we take a look, she is currently at level 2 of her career. She's not really climbing the ladder as well as I would have hoped, and he's at level 3, but they are doing their work task and trying to get up the ladder here. She does have her work task completed so that she can get her next boost and her next raise. So hopefully the next time she goes in, she will get a raise, but there have been a lot of holidays in. She hasn't gone ahead and gotten a raise due to the fact that she hasn't been going in due to holidays that have been going on. Obviously there are holidays now that are going on, so let's see if I can get her in here. We're going to just get her to bake something. We're going to have her do some breadsticks for the baking, because that's really the only thing that she can really bake. So we'll do some breadsticks. We've already done some cleaning and some decorating, so she's already checked that off for the day. And now we will do some baking. Everyone is kind of helping themselves. She had made some soup the night before and it was in the fridge, so everyone is just kind of helping themselves to that. It doesn't look like she made breakfast like I told her to, so I am going to get her to do that. So once she finishes with the breadsticks, she can make that honey toast breakfast for everyone, so that at least we can put that in the fridge and they'll have that to eat as well if they get hungry. Another thing with the children is they are really, really quick to get home and do their studies. They all always come straight away home from school. They do their homework and their extra credit, as well as their any school projects that they get sent home with. So they are really, really quick to do that, which makes me extremely happy because they are all doing really well in school currently. So I am hoping. And those breadsticks she did fantastic on, so we love that. So I'm hoping that we will go ahead and have them do really, really well in school, and all of them will get up to an A grade soon. Currently right now they don't all have A's. They have, I think we have a couple with C and a couple with B's. If we take a look. Yeah, Carissa is still a C student. Landon is a B student, and Davis is a B student. So they are currently working on getting their grades up. Okay, once you're done with that toast, you can come and you can put the laundry away. And then we'll get you to do some laundry. Oh, and Davis has set the table, so we love that. And this notification does say that it is Harvestfest tomorrow, which we love. All right, Davis, how are your needs? It looks like he got a sentiment with someone. He got a sentiment with Zeke, so let's take a look at that. So it looks like Davis got a sentiment with Zeke. It says Davis' sentiment about Zeke is friendly advice. Davis remembers when Zeke listened to his problems and shared some thoughtful advice. Okay, we love that. So we do know that Davis and Zeke always were really close, and the fact that he is still pretty close with Zeke is wonderful. So at least he was able to talk to Zeke, and he was able to get some advice from Zeke, and hopefully, that will be someone that he can confide in and talk to. It does say that Davis is pretty embarrassed. He's very embarrassed. Davis is very embarrassed after being caught by his parents doing drugs. Well, Davis, that is unfortunately how that works. You can't go around being bad and not thinking that you're going to get busted. I mean, unfortunately, there are consequences to your actions. And Cassiopeia is like, yeah, if you do this again, we're going to have to, have some really strict punishments. This is not something that you can just continue to do. You can't just continue acting like this and doing whatever it is that you think that you want to do. Like, we're really, really concerned about you, Davis, and your behavior and the way that you're acting out and the things that you're getting into. You really need to consider your future. He's like, okay, Mom, okay. Now, there was become angry. There was a want here that he had, that he wanted to get to know Elias better. So I wonder if he is possibly smoking because of Elias. Now, you will remember when Carina was going through all of her trouble with the drugs, it was because Elias had left and walked out on the family and abandoned them and really kind of turned his back, and I think it had had a negative impact on Carina to the point where she was starting to hang out with the wrong people and she had started doing drugs, and it was really, really negatively impacting her, and she had just really gone down this really dark path. And I think that Davis is really kind of following in Carina's footsteps. And, even though he has Zeke, and even though Tevin and him had gone over to Elias's place and they were like trying to give Elias that extra chance to be their dad again, and they really realized he's never going to change, and why are we wasting our time? And, we have Zeke, and why do we even bother? I think still in the back of his mind, he's like, but he's our dad, and why does it have to be like that? And I think he is really, really hurt by that. I think he is, even though he knows his dad's never going to change, even though he knows that this is the way it is, I think it still hurts him so badly. And he also is starting to get into trouble, and it's because of Elias as well. It's really unfortunate that he's negatively impacted by Elias so deeply, and now Carina and him really have the same path. They're really living that same life, and unfortunately the person that is having to live that and is having to be negatively impacted by that and so hurt by that is Cassiopeia. She's the one that's dealing with that depression over watching her children go down this path. And she's like, where have I gone wrong? How am I supposed to fix this? How am I supposed to, make sure my kids are safe? And how am I supposed to make sure that they're going to be okay? Because, I've provided them with this loving home, and I've provided them with this male figure that does love them and is there for them, but it's never good enough because Elias is this person that's walked out on them, and he's caused them such damage. And she doesn't know how to help. She doesn't know how to fix them. So it's really, really a tragic situation that everyone's kind of involved in. How are we doing? Okay, so we have a project here that is torn up. Whose project is this? Start this project over. Why don't you help her with it? Maybe it will make you feel better. Work carefully on your project. She's like, I don't want to work carefully on this project. I don't even want to deal with this project. Why are you embarrassed? She's embarrassed because privacy violation. You walked in on something you were never meant to see. Okay, go to the bathroom. Clearly you need to go to the bathroom. Go on. She's like, I've got to go to the washroom really badly. Start working carefully. Is this your project? Go to the washroom. There you go. All right, come out here and you can assist him with this project. No, nobody wants to assist with this project. Parents can come out and assist with the project. Landon, why are you not working on this? Work carefully on this project. Negative thoughts aren't always that easy to shake off. He has a lingering sadness. So Landon, like I said, he really struggles with moods. with mood swings. And right now he's dealing with some lingering sadness. Oh, Landon, honey. Work on this project. Come on, work carefully on this project. Just get down here and work with your parents. Did you not go to the bathroom? She's like, I'm going. Oh my heavens. The poor dear. Alright. And Davis is just going to watch a little bit of television. He's like, I've had enough heart-to-hearts for one day from both of the parents, and I am done dealing with every bit of this conversation. And these two are talking about woohoo while they're helping their child. Can we not? I love you. I can't wait for this moment with you. Okay. Honestly, let's not talk about the woohoos while we do the project with Landon. Let's not and say we did. These two are extremely flirty. We know that they are still in their early years of marriage, and I mean, even if they had been married for years, I think they would still be like that just because they are so very much in love. They're each other's soulmates. They complete each other in a way that Cassiopeia never knew that a person could complete another person, and I think that they are always going to kind of be that way with one another. But the fact that they're doing it over a school project that they're helping Landon with is a little bit awkward. But what do you do? He's like, please stop talking about this. It is extremely inappropriate, and I don't even want to hear about this. Her homework is done. She is just having a little bit to eat. They're doing the project. He's doing a little bit of a workout in his parents' room. This guy here clearly took after his mother. All he ever wants to do is go for jogs and work out. He absolutely loves it, which I'm kind of glad that he has something that he can focus on. I think if he would focus on working out more and smoking pot less, he would be a happier kid. And so this right here makes me really, really happy to see him working out as opposed to smoking his joints. And I think if he would focus on working out, this would be a healthier venue for him to deal with his sadness and his confusion over how he feels about what his father did to him. Not to say that throwing himself into fitness is going to really be the answer. I think that he possibly needs to talk to a therapist or something of that nature, but I do think that working out would possibly be a step in the right direction for him. And Zeke is just going to go ahead and clean out some things in the fridge here, which is perfect. You finally finished that project. Let's go ahead and pop it into your inventory here. And what about you, love? You're just playing a little bit of games. Okay, it is about 4:45 in the afternoon. As you can see, Tevin has come over to visit, so we'll go ahead and let Landon invite Tevin in. So Tevin can go ahead and come on in and just visit with us for a little while, which will be lovely. We haven't seen Tevin in a little bit since he moved out. As we know, he moved out because he did graduate from school with honors early and got himself a job. And so he is no longer living with us. He moved back into the old family house and has been working. And so that is lovely to see him come over and visit. And we love it when the kids come to visit us. We can't get enough of seeing the other children. So he's come over to visit us, which is perfect. Hopefully tomorrow we can invite everyone over so that we can have a nice Harvestfest. It won't be, Harvestfest without having at least Carina and Tevin over. And I don't know, maybe we can also invite over their grandfather, assuming that their grandfather is still living. We will have to check and make sure that that is the case. And he's not. They've lost their grandfather. So that's why everyone is sad. They've lost the grandfather. Okay, I didn't realize that their grandfather had passed away, but that is why they were mourning again, is we have just recently lost Diego. So Diego has passed away, and we are now without Cassiopeia's father. He has passed away as well. That would make sense as to why that was just lingering on and on forever, was Diego has left us as well. So now Cassiopeia's parents, both of them are no longer with us, and that means that we're just going to be able to invite over Carina and Tevin, and it will just be our family coming over for Harvestfest. Go ahead and come down here, Cassiopeia, and grab yourself something to eat. Everyone needs to deal with their needs, and we've got some kids that need to use the bathroom and eat, and then we will get them ready for bed for the night, I think. Look at her with Tevin. Look at them. There's such a huge age gap between the two of them, but seeing them interact is so great. Says, "You make my day so much better. Thanks for making me smile." They are so cute together. I mean, as we know, she does have the probably closest relationship of all the siblings with Davis. But seeing her interact with Tevin like that is really, really cute. Just because they do have, like I said, a really large age gap between the two of them. But I think that it would be pretty accurate for her to be that pesky little sister that would give him a hard time, and for him to be that big brother that would just be like, you know, okay, pipsqueak, like, don't come in here messing with me and whatever, and giving her little noogies on the head and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and move this laundry to the dryer and get it drying. And you can clean the lint tray and then dry the laundry. Perfect. And you can go to the washroom, Cassiopeia, because honestly, that is definitely needed. I'm glad you don't think my llama jokes are getting old. I feel like you just get me. Tevin and Davis have gained a sentiment as well. And I absolutely love the fact that Tevin has come over and everyone is just picking up right where they left off and gaining sentiments with him left and right. They are knocking off these holiday aspiration goals left, right, and center, and I absolutely love that. Everyone is having a beautiful gather holiday in preparation for Harvestfest tomorrow. Once we get a little bit of rest and we get up tomorrow, Cassiopeia will be obviously making a beautiful meal for the family. We will invite over everyone to come and celebrate with us, and we are going to have us a lovely, lovely holiday. All right. Everyone that needs to get some sleep should go and get some sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and queue up for Zeke to go to bed, and let's go ahead and call it a night. Everyone is tired. It is about 9 o'clock at night. So everyone is going to go ahead and go upstairs and go to bed for the evening. And I will see you guys once they awake in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, and the first person up today is Davis, going straight down to the kitchen for a little bit of honey toast that his mom had made yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and let him get himself a little bit of food here. And as you can see, he's just feeling quite hungry. But he woke up in a fantastic mood, feeling really happy because he had an excellent holiday yesterday. It says, wow, yesterday was an amazing holiday for Davis. He got to do all the traditions that he loves and then some. What a wonderful memory to cherish. So that made him in a really great mood. Cassiopeia, I love the outfit that you're in, and it was really, really appropriate for your husband, but not so appropriate for your child. Let's go ahead and get you into a different outfit, shall we? Thank you so very much. And she is up also having a little bit of toast, which is perfect. Let's go ahead and get you eating here, bud. Okay, eat this. Okay, great. So they are just going to have a little bit of breakfast together this morning, which is beautiful. And she's like, how did you sleep? He says, well, I slept really well and I had a great holiday. And she's like, yeah, I am glad that gather is over. It is now Harvestfest. I'm going to make us a turkey today. And Zeke is up and going to the washroom. He'll then go downstairs and have some breakfast with them, but she is just talking about how they're going to go ahead and have a turkey today. She's going to get started on that pretty soon, probably, and so we will get a turkey in pretty soon, I would think. We don't want it to be too soon, but that is something that we will get going on. And then we will call over the family and have them come and celebrate this holiday with us. Generally, Harvestfest, I think everyone kind of does that tradition a little bit differently. Some people do it in around noon. Some people do it in the evening. My family generally does it around 4ish. So it's just different for everyone. I prefer like an earlier one, so we're gonna do it a little bit earlier. I am gonna go ahead and get her to do we'll wait until it says the holidays here. No one likes me. No one will ever like me. Why bother with anything anymore? Oh my gosh, Landon, seriously. I think that, you know, the options are I'll always love you, people like you, look around, life is pain, just keep going. I think she would be like, people like you, look around. Like, we like you. You've got so many people around you that like you. So Cassiopeia has advised Landon affecting his character values and his responsibility has increased.
Yes.
All right, Landon, go ahead and get yourself something to eat. Okay, it is officially Harvestfest. Let's go ahead and cook a grand meal. We are going to do a turkey dinner. So after she is done in the washroom, she can go ahead and come in here and get a turkey dinner going. We have already checked off the decorating portion, and then we can get the meal started here. I am going to get Zeke to go ahead and call over and see if we can get Tevin to come on over. So we will invite Tevin over, and we will invite Carina over. She is feeling pretty dizzy, it looks like, from maybe her cycle. What does this say? Dizziness from being on period. Something doesn't feel quite right. Oh no, let's take a look. It may be a side effect from her monthly cycle, but Cassiopeia can't shake this dizzying feeling that the world around her is spinning uncontrollably. So she is having a side effect from her period, and it's causing her to be dizzy, and this is probably not good. She's not feeling all that well. It is a holiday and she's not feeling well, so that is unfortunate that she's having to go through that. It's not stopping her from cooking up this fabulous meal for her family. She's like, I'm not going to let this stop me. Obviously, we have family coming over and we're going to make the most of this day and the most of this meal. I want this to be perfect because Carina and Tevin are both coming over, and it has been so long since I've had both of the kids here at the same time, and all of the family will be together and we'll be able to sit down and we'll have a beautiful meal together. So she is just doing her best to make this tofurkey dinner, and it's going to be lovely. So as we know, she has the tofurkey here she has the turkey here that she's cooking. We may even go ahead and do a side dish. I probably will have Zeke come in here. He can cook some collard greens and cornbread as a side dish. And Carina has just come over to our house and gotten into our bathtub, so she has definitely made herself feel at home. So there's that. I don't know, maybe she doesn't have a bathtub at her house that she likes, but she has definitely made herself at home in our bathtub, which, welcome home, honey, welcome home. And Zeke, honey, I think I'm going to go ahead and put you into some clothes as well. That way you're not running around in your gaunch here, because honestly, it's just not appropriate with the whole family over. I mean, it just... Cassiopeia, come on, your cooking skill is maxed out. There's no reason why you should be breaking bottles. And the children are just in here and they are, you know, spending some time together. It has been a while since they have visited and been all together, and so they're spending time with one another. Davis, can you go ahead and put that laundry away, son? Okay, let's call to the grand meal. Where did those collard greens and cornbread go? No, Zeke, don't eat that. Grab a serving of this, Zeke. There you go. Everyone can eat some of the turkey dinner. We're going to sit down and we're going to have a meal together. Where is Carina? There you are. Carina and Landon, come in and sit down. Do I not have enough seats? Hold everything. Grab this and eat this. And as you can see, we are just sitting down here to eat. I don't know why Landon's being so difficult, but Landon's being extremely difficult about eating. Like, extremely difficult about eating. You know what? It's been wonderful to spend time with you. We've made some great memories, and we'll make many more, I'm sure of it. Oh, yes, we will. For whatever reason, Landon gets stuck every time he eats and has to be reset. So I don't know what that's about, but it's really annoying. And everyone had a lovely meal. Now Davis is cleaning up after everyone. And yeah, we're doing so great. We have gnomes somewhere around here that we can probably go ahead and deal with. I actually don't like dealing with the gnomes because in more cases, more often than not, they catch fire and then they get, like, my Sims get electrocuted by them. So I probably will just leave the gnomes alone, even though Landon likes dealing with the gnomes. Maybe I'll let him deal with the gnomes since that's something that he likes doing. Let's go ahead and we'll give this one... Oh, he's tense. He wants to kick the gnome. I don't really want to kick the gnome. Give this gnome... I don't think coffee's the right thing, though. Oh, it was. Okay, so that marked that off, so that's perfect. Can you please go to the washroom before you wee yourself, Landon? And I am just going to put this turkey away and get Zeke in here to finish these collard greens and cornbread. That way it's at least not a meal that was spoiled. Yeah. And Carina came over. She had some turkey with us, but then she was like, I have to go. And so Carina has left. I do believe Tevin is still around somewhere. But Carina has gone ahead and headed on home. As we know, she does live really far away. She lives in Sulani, so she has a long travel back home. So she went ahead and headed on out. Unfortunately, you know, it was a short visit for her, but at least she did visit. It looks like Cassiopeia is wanting to talk over some relationship fears with Zeke. She is still struggling with a little bit of fear that she, that he is going to leave her. So I am going to just go ahead and have her talk about some relationship fears with him, and that way they can touch on that a little bit, because she is really struggling with the fact that she thinks he's going to leave her or cheat on her. And, we all know that's her issues. It really has a lot more to say about her than it does him, and the fact that she has her own issues. But it says Cassiopeia put herself forward and opened a line of communication, but the problems aren't over. Maybe another day of communicating her worries will finally help overcome her fears. And now he's asked her about woohoo. Okay, they clearly want to woohoo. I'm going to let them go ahead and do that because they really want to. And they shouldn't be able to have a baby because she has been fixed and had that sterilization surgery. So I'm just going to let them go woohoo because they have asked each other about woohoo twice already. In this episode, so I am going to let them go ahead and do a little bit of woohooing, It has been a while since they have done that, and they clearly want to get their groove on. So we're going to let them go on upstairs and do that. And let's check in with Landon, who is feeling super tense. It says he has a festering bitterness. Landon really cannot stand being around a sim he has a grudge against. Okay, Landon, who is it that you have a grudge against? No one really knows who your grudge is against, but you clearly have a grudge against someone. So you can eat as long as you're at the table by yourself. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Alright, so they are going ahead and getting themselves a bit of a woohoo. Harvestfest is over and hopefully was successful for everyone involved. As you can see, Landon is quite moody and is also a foodie, which is great. It says foodie sims are obsessed with eating, discussing, and cooking high-quality culinary treats. So he really enjoyed that turkey dinner, and that's great. But it does show us that he is really, really moody. First he was enraged, then he was sad, now he's tense. He's got a lot of things that are really bothering him. I am not exactly sure why he feels everything as strongly as he does. Let's get him out here and see if we can let him deal with some of these plants. Maybe he can't. No, he can't. But I do think I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Do stay tuned for the slideshow at the end, as this is the finale of season 1. I had a whole lot of fun with this season, and I hope that you have enjoyed it as well. Next episode will be the beginning of Generation 2 with Landon, and so we will be taking a look at Generation 2's rules as well as the start of his new life in his new home. Things are going to be looking a little bit differently with his new place, and obviously everyone will have gone through a bit of a time jump, and so I will show you guys what they all look like as well. So I do hope that you all enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next episode with some of the changes. But until then, I am going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.
You're gone now, but you're coming back. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation. I hope I'll be something that you won't let go. I'll be your high when you fall down low. I hope I'll be your end destination. You're far away and yet so close. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're up in space. You're inside the noise. I can feel you. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world,